Top five.
So then topical back with another video. I'm Strange Wang. He is Nate. Today we're doing top 5 ghost movies in honor of the newest Ghostbusters film, Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Which is finally coming out.
Finally, yeah.
Yeah. Took forever.
You looking forward to it?
I'm not looking forward to it.
I mean, you sounded pretty excited.
Like, well, no, it's just like, it's just been a weird couple years with movies because like we're just now getting movies that we watched trailers for 2 years ago.
You're not wrong.
But he's going to tell you about our...
In social media.
Yeah, so he's a close-up.
If you scroll down the description box below, pop it open, you'll find links to our social media accounts. So go and give us a follow on those. You also find links to our Coffee account and our Patreon account where you can get some pretty sweet bonus stuff. If you don't know how we do our top 5s, he's going to start with his 5 and 4. I'll get my 5 and 4, 3, 2, 3, 2. Then we trade off number 1s. We also have something called the Zemeckis rule, which just means if we both have the same movie on our list, but one person has it 2 spots or higher, then they'll say Zemeckis, and we won't talk about it until we get to on their list.
My number 5 is going to be Beetlejuice.
Zemeckis. Just a little bit, though. Just as Zemeckis.
That's interesting. My number 4 is going to be Scrooge.
That's my number 4. Yes!
I didn't think he was going to make your list.
I didn't think he was going to make your list.
It's the Christmas Carol, but with Bill Murray. So the ghosts are going to be made to play off of Bill Murray very good, from the taxi driver, from the princess to the ghost of Christmas past. That was very dark and
scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
You're a pussy.
It really made my list because of the taxi ghost.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's the best. And they all teach him a certain lesson. They all bring value to a movie. They're not there just to be spooky or something.
Yeah.
They're there for a purpose. And really good writing of these characters. Really good chemistry that they play off of Bill Murray.
Yeah.
And everything. These ghosts are perfect for this movie. So
yeah.
I had to make my list.
So, like...
Now that I'm talking about it, I feel like I should bump it up. But I'll look at the other movies, I'm like, I don't think I can bump it up.
Yeah. I've always been a fan of the story of The Christmas Carol in general.
Yeah. It's the only good thing about Christmas.
It's a great message because it's a really simple message. And the message is, hey, don't be a prick. Like, and that's it. But using, like, terrifying ghosts and forcing, like, Scrooge through, like, to go through what he goes through is a great way of, like, getting the point across. So when you mix like Bill Murray's just dry, natural assholishness into that, combined with what they did with the ghosts in this film, like there's almost like a whimsical aspect to it. Like it almost like, and it is like a little more on the spooky side than like the story is traditionally told. To the point to where like Scrooge almost feels like you could watch it on Halloween because that's how like more important the ghosts are, or like how they were crafted. The ghosts in this movie are what do it for me. Like, because they're also unique and interesting, but they also have some of the best costume design that I've seen, and I really appreciate that.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
I have to agree with you on that.
All right, so my number 5. Sometimes I tend to avoid doing this, but I realize that I have not seen that many ghost movies. There was one that I probably would have put on the list. I still haven't seen a ghost story. But
kind of boring.
I haven't watched a lot of ghost movies. So this one almost had to like de facto go on my list, but it is also a very good movie. The thing that I'm talking about that I normally avoid is putting super new movies on there, but I went ahead and put Last Night in Soho on the list. So I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did, but it is in very, very, very good filmmaking. And it doesn't feel a ton like an Edgar Wright movie, which I think that's completely fine because you're 100% allowed to evolve and probably should as an artist. But there's still just like bits and pieces in there that add that. So from someone who doesn't like scary movies, getting to watch a very well made one about ghosts was really cool.
Side note. I in the corner for Strange Wang's review. It had me jumping like little kids on trampolines. It was very frightening.
Nice. Your number 3. My 4 was also Scrooge.
My number 3 is Ghostbusters.
That's my number 2.
Which is the predecessor to the film that we're doing this for. This movie's funny.
Yeah.
The ghosts are creepy.
Yeah.
Objective accomplished. Bro, that fucking library ghost.
That was the creepiest part, but like, yeah.
Like, when I guess because I watched it as a kid and like seeing, it was much more effective when I was younger, I guess. But now it's funny. and then the ghost and everything, how they like possess people.
Yeah.
To be the keymaster, you know?
Right.
And like all this other stuff and how they deal with the ghosts and the science and that they come up with it and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's just all hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And the interactions to the people who don't believe in ghosts and they do believe in ghosts, all very well acted. Like the extras in this movie are fucking incredible.
That's
because
true.
it's like 1 minute they're like, ghosts, I don't believe in ghosts.
Yeah.
And they're very like, all right, like I believe that you don't believe in ghosts. And then 20 minutes later, I believe that they do believe in ghosts. It's very real.
Yeah.
Except for that one guy, but he's dickless.
Is this true?
It's true, Your Honor. This man has no dick. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's really kind of along the same lines. Something that I love so much about this movie, just in general, even outside the fact that it has ghosts in it, that I don't think that movies today would take the time to do, is like, this movie is about the ghost, and it's about this impending evil and like them having to save the world, but they spend so much intentional time just building the business. You know, like they start off as these college professors who are looked at as crack jobs and get their grants pulled to like starting from the, and like we spend so much time just watching them like build the
That's
ghost
a very
busting
odd pacing
business.
to this movie. Yes.
And it just adds so much investment to it, though. It really does. So by the time that, like, you know, we get to see ghosts along the way, but by the time you get to like the big part of the story, it's like you actually give a shit about these characters because you actually watched them, A, build a business from scratch, which is difficult, and B, manage to convince an entire world that ghosts do in fact actually exist and become like legitimate celebrities in the process of doing it. So like the dialogue is phenomenal, and you just throw like the ghost aspect in there and it just jacks everything up like 10 points for me.
My number 2 is The Shining.
That's my number 1. What is your number 1?
Mind your damn motherfucking business, bitch!
Wow. It's not on your list.
I guess.
You didn't think about it.
I guess I didn't think about
Coco's
it.
not your number 1?
There's not ghosts. He's in the
They're ghosts.
He's in the afterlife.
They're ghosts.
No, they're just dead. They're just dead.
Well, Coco's not my number 1. But The Shining... What's like the world, like, not ghost world, but like, what would you call it? Like, I don't know.
The ethereal plane.
Sure, whatever that means. Doesn't make sense to humans. And in The Shining, the ghost and how they come about, enter, show their presence and whatnot, whether through their actions of dressing up like a bear and giving head to a guy, or coming out the bathroom, or being a bartender,
Yeah.
doesn't make any fucking sense.
Just Tendon Bar.
Doesn't make any sense. And to have that come through and not make sense to me either makes it more scary as a viewer, because I don't know what's going to happen. I can't predict when the next ghost is going to come out or when the creepiness is going to arrive in this movie, which makes it even more creepier. And then you got Jackie's going around like a lunatic, and then you get a lot from Danny's perspective, so you're watching the movie through a kid's eyes, which makes it more terrifying and whatnot. And that's why this movie works for me, because obviously Kubrick, master of filmmaking, but nothing in this movie makes sense. You got TVs behind windows.
In a good way.
Where the fuck? Yeah, exactly. It's on purpose. It's not doing it just to, oh, this is cool, let's do this.
Yeah.
It's all for a purpose to keep the tension, the horror up, to make you feel uncomfortable throughout the whole entire movie. Like I was saying, where there is a scene where they're watching TV, but behind the TV is nothing but fucking windows, and you don't see a cord. So what's the TV plugged into? You're always questioning. You're always unnerved because of this movie through every little meticulous detail and action he does. So it had to like
Yeah.
be very high on my list.
Yeah. I am super interested in hearing what I apparently forgot.
Yeah, you forgot, dog.
But yeah, it's The Shining. It's Stanley Kubrick. You will find it on top of a lot of people's horror movie list in general. But what I love about it is that because it is just incredibly good filmmaking, it does not rely on jump scares. It uses like the slow build of like the ghost revealing themselves in the house to build a shit ton of tension. And it's also just like the diversity of the ghost, right? Like there is a guy in a bear costume giving dome, and the bartender
Cranium,
and
head, Benedict College.
right. So,
Knowledge.
right. Encyclopedia.
Albert Einstein.
Dictionary. So yeah, there's a bartender. There's a guy in a bear costume. There's the twins. There's bathtub lady. So it's like, the ghosts are not isolated to just like one specific like typecasting of ghosts. Like,
Yeah.
they're just also unique and different. And then like it's like some of them aren't scary. Like the bear and the bartender aren't scary, but it's eerie because it's just it doesn't make sense.
Comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And Jack Nicholson's like,
Right. Yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
my favorite part of that movie now is when the waiter like spills something on Jack.
Yeah.
And they go to the bathroom to clean himself up, but Jack has it on his hand, and he's like, "It's okay," but the camera's behind him, so you see like Jack like put like he's staying the dude's suit, and to me that's just funny. I don't know why. It's just like, ha,
Random.
Just like that whole world is just incredibly interesting in terms of ghosts and like making them something outside of what you normally think of when you think of a ghost. And that's why it's my number one.
That's my number 2.
Yeah, we've been through my whole list.
We haven't talked about Beetlejuice yet.
Oh, okay. Well, my number
Which
3.
was Zemeckis.
Yeah, my number 3 was Beetlejuice.
Oh, nice. The reason why Beetlejuice is my number 5 is because I don't care about these shitty driving motherfucking ghosts. I care about the demon exorcist, which is Beetlejuice. And he's a demon, not a ghost. So, fuck the ghosts in this movie. It's all about the demons and Beetlejuice because Beetlejuice is hilarious. He's well dressed throughout the film.
Yeah.
And he humps to the whorehouse. That's what I do before I go into girls' apartments.
Wow, that's your pregame ritual.
Yeah.
I feel completely differently. I care a lot about the ghosts.
They can't drive. They're shitty humans.
Bitch, you can't drive. This motherfucker won't come to the theater that's downtown because he can't parallel park. So I don't want to hear shit about you talking about anybody not being able to fucking drive. The fact that you're still alive, driving over here twice a week, and then driving out to Harveston at least once a week is like incredible.
I drive for a living.
Around the outskirts of the city.
So, I still drive for a living.
Okay, well, you're not wrong. You do sort of drive for a living.
I'm on the road more than I'm in the store.
My point is, I don't want to hear shit about you talking about other people driving. And also, like, I agree with everything you said about Beetlejuice, minus the well-dressed part, although his costume design is, like, incredibly intriguing. But he doesn't matter if you don't have, like, these down-on-their-luck, like, dead people to play off of. So, like, they are literally the glue that holds the story together because Beetlejuice doesn't need to be there if they're not there, and the family doesn't want to get rid of them if they're not there. So the story doesn't happen without the ghosts. And, like, I really feel for them because, unlike someone else, I am capable of empathy.
But I wouldn't watch the movie if it wasn't for Beetlejuice, though.
But the movie wouldn't exist for you to watch without the ghosts.
Well, that's not true because
So I clearly cannot choose the cup in front of you!
Beetlejuice, they could have made Beetlejuice go to Hawaii, and that's no ghost. Just Beetlejuice. And he's in Hawaii for some reason. It's probably better that they didn't make it, but...
Okay, so you like the animated series more than the movie?
No, because he doesn't... There's no whorehouses in the animated series. But my number 1 is the Beetlejuice porn parody, Booty Juice. Remember that picture I sent you?
Yeah.
I watched it. I'm just kidding. My number 1, I'm surprised it's not on your list, is Field of Dreams. It's baseball ghost playing baseball. Yeah. And it has an emotional scene with the dad. And I went into a movie not expecting for it to be a ghost movie. And I never expected to cry and be so emotional because of a ghost movie. And this film came out of left field baseball jokes. I went into this movie thinking it was just a Kevin Costner movie. And it was going to be like a well-acted baseball movie.
Yeah.
But it was about ghosts.
It is. He has also proved that he cannot act well in a baseball movie.
Yeah, that's true. But this one, very good. And just like... I was so caught off guard, like when the ghost came in and how the spirits work and how like that gap between the like afterlife and real life hits and just like all the little rules they make, like go outside the baseball field, you know, you gotta have a safe place for them to be coming out the corner and whatnot. And it's just everything you would not expect to feel during a ghost movie, you're going to feel during this ghost movie. and it is impeccable. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. If you want some instant emotion in 2 hours, this is your movie.
He plays catch with his ghost dad.
Yeah, and we ain't talking about Bill Cosby, that pedo jelly eating motherfucker. This is a real ghost dad. But tell us down below in the comment section, what's your top 5 favorite ghost movies? Do you have a ghost dad? Too far?
No, you have a ghost dad, so
I don't know where that motherfucker at. That motherfucker might still be living. But she... Do all that in the comment section, your thoughts and your opinions. Scroll back up, hit the like button, share the video. And... subscribe.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.